All right. What is pretty privilege? Well, that's something commonly that we know or face with in real life, where someone of either like really good looks, someone with, I mean, I guess you could view pretty privileged just about anything looks related, whether they have like a big chest, a big butt, toned muscles, or even just facial features alone. And that allows people a different social interaction with the majority of folks. And unlike in real life, however, we deal with something different in VR. In VR, instead, what we deal with is, I guess, what you would call an ableist type of situation, where we have a couple of people who have, let's say, a questie, which we would, I guess, supposedly call him a questie cripple. But at least for the major part, they do have options towards full body. Then you have the half body users, which are usually PC users, also inclusive towards the questie. I know it sounds like I'm doing a whole spiel, but what happens is as soon as you go to the full quest and full body situation, however, you seem to attract a lot of people, just kind of like it would for the pretty privilege. Now, what best way can I describe it other than trying to get other folks' opinion? So we do have these different problems in VR. Obviously, pretty privilege being what it is. What are your opinions on the whole ableist and the pretty privilege that you see, quote unquote, in real life, and how does that translate over to VR for you?
I mean, in a certain fact that everything right now goes by VR. Most of it, if you know, kids and casually adults right now are basically joining VRChat for basic fun. But after all, teenagers starts up as well, and they go from basically from Quest, what I'm using, to basically seeing people with full body and way basically more expensive tech. So they basically, grow up and up and up, I guess,
So
from
you'd
my
say that
perspective.
I guess you would say that there's like a hierarchy to this thing, and do you think that any of that treats people differently, in your opinion?
In my opinion, when a person, for example, like me as a questie, if you, for example, you have a full body tracking, for
That I do.
example, for a person like for me, I don't really care. Like I don't really care if you have full body. I don't have full body. I don't care about that because like there's a certain amount that, for example, people have their own privileges in life. So for example, like IRL, like everyone has like their different things to do. Like for example, I have a job and I don't have much time. I just want to spend time with friends and basically just have fun in VR. And like most of the people, they want to buy VR and buy full body because the person has full body. And sometimes people get angry or anxious or whatever because they don't have that,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically make a full of drama because most of VRChat right now is full of drama.
Yeah.
That's what I can just say.
Would you say that that drama, like, I guess, would you say it stems from outside sources? Like, let's say, for example, social media being what it is, we see people always fighting about these
Yeah,
stupid qualms and reasons. And I guess in VR, we see that atypically when somebody copies another person's behavior, like, for example, just throwing it out there, DID, or any of those things that you really can't measure. So, do
yeah,
you guys quite
exactly. I
see that?
mean, like for so yeah, we do. Like for example, I do see a lot of full body dancers, and for me, it's like if there's a person who is a quest and he wanna dance, but people cannot see that because, well, Quest has just no full body tracking, nothing with legs, so they cannot, for example, do the same thing. That's why people crave and they want full body, just for example, to make a show off or right now, most of it comes with like a lot of people that I know, for example, is like they come in and they're like, oh, that's a full body. And for example, a girl gets interested in a full body person. But for example, that makes everything mixed up because people who have more money, they can afford this. and the other people cannot, and that's why it makes a difference in VRChat
Do you,
because people take the people who are basically how they are.
do you think that for example, like you said, a lot of people don't have the means to they crave it, but they don't have quite the means to achieve it. Do you think that they use these kind of like labels or these problems to just kind of make up the difference to get that attention that they're seeking? Because I mean, obviously, it's
Yeah.
more accessible than pretty privileged, so it's definitely different. But it's like a goal people aspire to have because it provides different privileges and different attention seeking that you don't normally get. So
Yeah, I mean, I have a VR son who was basically doing like how can I say it? First was a questie, still a questie, but
mm-hmm.
right now quests have like some privileges that they can have full body trackers just by a phone. There's like a mobile app for it, and still you need to pay a lot of money just to, you know, afford yourself to even move your legs. Like,
Right.
I know people with haptic suits. I know people with that type of things. Like, haptic suits are
Also, the
basically that
people
you
with the
basically go
like
by it.
connect.
Sorry, would you
Yeah,
want to go again?
exactly.
We didn't get you.
Also, the people with the connect ones, like, it's not as efficient as, of course, like full body trackers, but it's kind of like the in between from like Quest to full body, like fully.
Okay.
Exactly. So basically, the privilege is what it goes by that people just like for me how I see it because like I just have VR to just enjoy my time with my friends because expecting how you play games on PC or on console, it's like you need to have a certain game to play with them to actually have fun. VR, you pop the headset, you play a game, and you enjoy your whole ass day just for that.
Okay.
So that's like the thing. And for example, there comes like I'm not having any issues with full body people or anything
Mm-hmm.
because they just have the money for it. They can like afford it. They have it. They have fun with it. Because there's certain videos or certain fun stuff or certain content that basically just makes it funny to basically like a guy basically do dances and he literally falls off the like on the ground and basically everybody laughs because it looks funny.
That's most of the
And
content that
for
brings
me it's
them
not a
here, anyways. So I get what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So with that being said, does from what I see, anyways, it seems like that when you go from quest to full body, there's like a little bit of a disconnect where either you tend to chill out a lot because obviously we see the tendency of people like laying down and shit, or you get those people who were chill and then they kind of lose themselves in that privilege of being like, oh, I'm better or whatever, and whatever mindset that they adopt, obviously.
Yeah, I do see that. I do see that. There is the like before when I was like on a black cat, there was a full body person, and by you basically click on your menu button, you can already see that, or there is a quest, or it's a PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw certain full bodies who are like, you just try to make friends. You're a questie, you just want to make friends, and they just check your thing. Oh, you're a questie. Never mind. See you later.
Yeah, yeah, I've
Well,
seen
that's
that.
not fucking nice.
It isn't just
So
that
there's
though,
like
too.
some.
It's also like,
Mm,
trusted user, user rank, new user, and visitor. That is definitely a
yeah,
part of it as well.
Yeah. Would you say it's
exactly.
more proficient? Like it happens more than the full body issue? Like which one do you believe is more prevalent?
I think actually the leveling system that is integrated into the game is more prevalent, especially because there's a nuisance rank.
Mhm.
For those who constantly get blocked over and over and over, immediately that person is disregarded if they're in the room
Right.
because the name status that they have on them.
Okay. Now, would you guys believe it would be maybe more beneficial if we took off the ratings and we just kept maybe the nuance one? Because obviously, if you get blocked enough, you're probably a nuisance to society for a reason. But As far as it
Uh,
goes, like maybe keep
well,
that and take away the user ranking and the trusted and all that. Maybe that'd help a little bit more.
I mean, for my fact, I think even if you have those type of ranks, it actually just proves you something. Because the thing is, you don't get trusted user as how long you spend time on VR chat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what basically people think. They like I heard so many people complaining that are like, I have 4,000 hours or 3,000 hours on VR chat and I'm still not trusted. Well, it's not by the hours. It's not by that thing. Trusted user is becoming by how many friends you have. Basically, you enjoy your time, you hang out with them, and that's how you gain that rank. The thing, what I basically right now just heard, right? Because I'm not that type of updated in VR chat because I'm like I said, I'm here just to enjoy my time and basically just have fun with friends. That's basically my privilege. What am I doing here? And I really like to take that podcast because there is some people that they don't really know what to do on VR chat. Like they just sit there, or for example, mirror dwelling. So I've been seeing a lot of desktops doing that because they don't have anything to do. Because most of the parties and all of that certain things goes, by what? Having hands or having legs and basically do some funny shit.
So you would say
And
that
as
most of the
me,
stuff is
basically.
gate kept by people with like full body or like just any kind of interactive way rather than the desktops that are unfortunately stuck with like being the wallflower, I guess, because people don't quite associate with them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same part when you have a console, but you don't have a controller. I mean, how
That would
would
be
you
really
how would you
difficult.
elaborate with that? Yeah,
Well,
exactly,
also for
right?
the fact
And you
that
need to
most of the
find a
time,
way to do it.
Oh, go ahead.
whenever they're desktop users, they kind of take on the traits of like being a memer or like, taking the traits from videos that they saw that were like super fun and like stupid. And that's not the energy for like people that are trusted rank. And also to counter what you said earlier, there are people that do speed run to get to trusted rank, so it's not just by, having close friends. There are people that like go to club worlds and they just literally add everyone that they see. So it's a little different, I guess, based on how you spend your time.
Okay.
I mean, this is the same part when you join a club and, for example, somebody added you, right? Fully randomly, you didn't even see the person, you didn't talk to him, and one day that person, because he's bored, he joins you, and the first thing that you just say, "Who the are you?" Because you don't know that person, you didn't even talk to that person, and you getting just automatically added by him. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for you, it's just curiosity. Why did you add? Why did they add you? Like, for example, that's my wife, and she knows that when I meet you, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody else, she like I get to know them, and then I can add them. That's how you basically do, even in games. Like you play a competitive game, what do? You
Well,
basically play
you
with
make
them, you
friends
talk
first.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You talk with them and enjoy your time, and then boom, you have a friend. Right? It's not that fucking hard.
So you're
It's just
saying
having maybe a same topic.
So are you saying that basically
Go on.
we've kind of taken out that dynamic and we're just kind of like replacing it with labels to just say, okay, maybe you're not worthwhile, even though you never really got the chance to even talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, there is certain
It's like
people
a
who are
group
even,
thing.
Hmm.
yeah,
It's like one person is like this, you group the entire system the same way that they're ranked, and it's unfair.
yeah. I mean, I have a lot of new users as friends because they are new in the game. Some like there's a lot of people who've been even asking me how to even use the menu in VR, how to add friends in VR because there is literally people who didn't even do that. And like
Hmm.
in the tutorial in VRChat, you just get really easy steps how to move and how to set up. But how can you add a friend? You don't
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah,
You don't
I
even
think
know how
my
to add
first
a friend
experience was a little bit of a struggle bus with that too. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's quite funny that we're talking about this because obviously we have these labels also in real life. Whether I mean they're not labels as far as like trusted or not. I mean that's a little silly when you really want to boil it down. But we see this a lot with
Yeah.
other labels that are now also being introduced into VR space, and people seem to be catching on as different type of personalities now, like maybe those sensitive topics that a lot of people don't like us talking about, but like for
Yeah,
example, those
exactly.
people who identify as something else or have different, pronouns and stuff like that, the sensitive stuff,
Yeah.
but we're not trying to talk bad about anybody, mind you, but there's people like
Yeah.
that, and we're seeing it boil down in here. Do you think that has any effect as well? Because I think I've got deafened once before or muted or some shit just because I was straight. I think I had it in my bio at one point.
I mean, I can just tell you this. For me, it's really easy and really easy to explain. If there is somebody who basically pops up and they are telling me, for example, what are you supposed to do? Like, who are you and all of that, I get it. Like, they want to get to know and all of that certain facts because there's people, who are choosing their own ways how they want to be in life. Most of it are actually kids. It is. There's a lot of kids in VRChat. They don't know what they're doing. They are all confused. And they don't know what to basically, expect from people in the world. Because there might be, for example, a straight kid, like, he just like girls, right?
Yeah.
Everything is okay because that's his choice. And there comes, for example, people who are just saying, oh, I'm bi. And like, as a kid, a straight kid, he doesn't know what does that mean. For example, there's thousands of people like that in VRChat. They don't really know what does that mean. They just try to learn it. But afterwards, they are just basically telling like, oh, but I like girls and guys. But the kid doesn't understand that because that's
Mm-hmm.
not how he got taught by his parents.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, when he lives with a straight family. So there is just a mom and a dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there is, for example, um, a kid having a mom and another mom, so two moms but no dad, right?
Yeah,
The same thing goes by this because you get taught by the parents that there can be as well female with a female and a man with a man. But there comes the struggle because a kid basically needs both parents. Needs a man and a woman. And
yeah.
I'm not saying it's
Well,
bad
some people would argue
because I'm
with
not
you on
saying
that
it's
one.
bad. It's your choice how you decide your own decision,
Mm-hmm.
not mine. That's my own decision and that's how I say it.
You mean
I don't really
opinion?
mind
Is
to
that what you're
explain it.
aiming for?
Oh, yeah, because everyone has their own opinion, right? You have your own opinion, I have mine. My wife has her own opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and what can I say about it? Like, I cannot argue with their other people's opinion because they have their own opinion, and if they really want to brag it up about it, it's up to them. But they will still get the same result from me, and I will not agree with them because it's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's is a human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it that what it's supposed to be? If you're a normal human being, you have your privilege, you have your goals, and you have your own choices.
Yeah, yeah, of
This is what
course.
it's
I mean,
about.
that's the freedoms that we choose to express. Basically, is what I'm trying to,
Yeah,
what I'm getting from you. Yeah. Um,
yeah.
would you say that it can start to complicate things though when, for example, as I said before, with the whole straight and everything else, and obviously we know
Mm.
there's other things going on in the real world. Doesn't it make it hard where we've come to a point where we're defying what it means to just do natural things or understanding people on a natural basis? Like we're not trying to out anybody. We're not trying to make sure say that they're unnatural. What I'm saying is more along the lines of, let's say for example you have a very predominantly male voice, but without even like looking at your bio or whatnot, I would never tell if you identify as a she, right? Would you say that that's like a fair assumption, even if you're wearing like a female model or whatnot? And wouldn't that would confuse someone who is new, right?
No. I mean, it will confuse somebody who is new, but like most of the time, people read their bio.
Mm-hmm.
People read their bio to basically get to know who the person is. because, like, for example,
It seems like you got someone
people
who
who are
disagrees
just
with you on that one.
I don't touch bios. I just talk to people. Like, dead
yeah,
on.
but yeah, I know, honey, I know. But that's like, you see, that's people's opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we were basically going through. Everyone have their different opinion on how they check stuff up, right? So, there's people who are, transgenders, gay, lesbian, or whatever else. I mean, I already met a person who literally said that they were identifying as a tree. I mean, no offense, but I don't really know what the fuck is going on.
What fruit tree
But
were they, if you
anyways,
mind me asking? Were they a banana tree? Or were
I have
they a
no
peach
idea.
tree?
A peach tree.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
hashtag
Trees
peach
on
emoji, am I right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the thing. Everyone has like their own pronouns, whatever they want, but just don't bring it to people, because that's your choice, your decision. Like, it's not really dead ass cool if somebody just goes to you and just say be straight because you're trans.
Oh, okay. So I think I get what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
this is the same part when a trans person, yeah,
Yeah, can you reiterate? 'Cause
I
I'm a
think I
little
get what you're saying. You're basically saying that it's so much so that it's your personal choice, but it shouldn't become like your personality and what you need to enforce on others. It's more of
yeah,
like something that it's for you, and
yeah,
it's for whoever you're gonna be, I guess, dating. It's more of along like something
yeah,
personal versus something that you should objectively
exactly,
be pushing on to others. You know, I think I get the gist
exactly.
of what you're saying. Yeah.
um what about like hours that people have put into the game? Do you think that affects anything? Towards like
Yeah,
social standards in the game?
Um, you know what? I think it does because, I mean, after all, you would think that with the amount of hours that you've poured into here, you would start to see through the lines, like see through the red tape that some people, quote unquote, put up. Because I've met quite a few people that at the start of this, they would never dream of getting a lap dance or never dream of sitting in front of a mirror and that kind of stuff. And then to this day, now they're walking behind the fucking back door. I mean, they're
True, yeah.
the more you dive
It
into
definitely
this,
is
the
a
more you
growing
can.
thing.
Yeah, it's in my opinion, it's one of those things where it's just like you experience something and then it's like, wow, this is a platform where I can actually like fill out my fantasies. Like, how do I want, let's say for example, a map to look like, because this is what my dream home would be. Or maybe I'm not that fit in real life, I can give myself giant ass titties or whatever the fuck else, and it really starts to be a boiling pot for what you want.
I
Go ahead, I
mean,
know you're suppressing an
yeah, but
opinion.
the other fact is how long you even spend time in the game. Yeah, you have other fantasies and all of that, but that affects your body. I
Mhm.
mean, most of the people have less sleep because, they all the time have a screen on their face. Like, legit, on their eyes. They basically, they have a really shitty schedule. They wake up, they have less sleep. Like, I meet certain people who are like having 3 to 4 hours of sleep every day because they are constantly every fucking day on the game. Like, I've seen some full body people who were like, they didn't even take off their headset, but they were going to their fucking kitchen to grab some food and still go fucking eat that shit while wearing a
I'm
headset.
guilty of this.
I've done that. I've literally
fucker.
mixed alcohol drinks. I've mixed alcohol drinks while still in VR and then like, went back to, doing my thing.
Yeah, exactly. And how did it affect you?
I mean,
What
I believe
happened
I
to your
was a
body
complete
afterwards?
escapist. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really give much of a fuck about like my physical person IRL. I was so, drawn into the reality that I built, and I just lived that way until I decided that I wanted to change and I wanted to grow the person that I actually am in the actual reality, and then also have the time to communicate and be friends with the people that I already made while I was here.
Mm,
Okay.
exactly. So it brings up a point. It brings up a point. So basically, living in VR is cool. It's fun. It's basically it's still a game. It's not real life. Well, you cannot fucking eat food here. You cannot drink here. I mean, there is people who have phantom sense and all of that because you probably heard about it. Phantom sense, phantom pain, phantom drunk, phantom drugged, even phantom pregnant. Trust me, that shit fucking exists. I don't know how the fuck does that exist, but
It's
I have
one
no
of the
idea.
You better
life's
not get
biggest digital mystery.
You better not get me phantom pregnant. I'll beat your ass.
Damn.
How the fuck can you get that?
I can already see the bulgy wulgy.
Right? How the
Oh no, he's getting phantom pregnant. It's definitely one of those things where you
Good
just
baby, don't worry.
you kind of just sit in here and you're wondering. I mean, at least myself, I'm wondering how do we go from acknowledging reality and bringing all this baggage from reality into here, and then like creating new that then later on transfers in real life. Because how many times have we seen those memes where, what was that one meme where they brought in the girl's like, I need you to meet my boyfriend to her dad, and then where's your boyfriend at? And then he's like in here, and then he puts on the VR. Who the fuck are you? You remember that meme? And then she says, I'm phantom pregnant to her dad.
Yeah.
And he starts fake fighting in fucking VR. I thought that shit was funny. I mean, if it's bound to be a
Yeah.
thing, I'm sure that some parent or another has experienced this.
So I'm just saying from my perspective, be on VR how much you want, but remember you're still a living human being behind that headset. That's it. What I can just say. You need to focus on your goals and basically do your life how you want it to be. And the other thing, you need to remember the life you want to remember, not that one that you don't really want to remember at all, right? You meet up friends, and even if you have a bad socializing IRL, that's how you build it on VRChat.
You know,
That's how you basically build yourself.
speaking of that, I mean, you said, we're trying to escape a bad, I guess, reality. I've noticed that a lot of people end up being like very traumatic, very not dramatic, but traumatic, where they experience
Mm-hmm.
something in VR and then it completely ruins them. And at the end of the day, I can't help but think it's just a game. But at the same time, I know that we're dealing with other
Oh yeah.
human beings, and it's kind of like socializing in life, except probably easier because we're at the comforts of our home. But how do we, I
Yeah.
guess, help those type of individuals when they're experiencing that kind of stuff? Do we just say fuck it, it's just a game, or do we say, hey, this is just something you would tackle in real life, and we're bound to learn it one way or another? Whoa.
You definitely
Well,
would
I can already
manage
answer
that.
to that.
Sorry. You definitely would manage
Go
that
on.
like it
Go on.
was a real life situation because these are real feelings that you're playing with. Um, Whenever you are like dived into the game, it's still a social game. We are still people. We just all are from the comfort of our home. Um, Only real people that like want to become friends will be the ones that'll help you through that situation. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they'll just fuck off.
You know, we say that quite often. Honestly, get yourself friends that'll help you and whatever else. But I've also tend to notice that, we've always dealt with that toxic friend in real life who's like, oh, you fucked up, haha. They laugh at you or they give you like really bad advice. But I see like in my personal experience, I've seen that escalation go like 10 times further in VR, especially when we tell them, oh, they are a quote unquote pedo, or oh, they did this and that, and there's like absolutely no proof to it. Do you think that VR is actually more harmful than it is fucking good at this point?
Um. Well, the thing is, I think VR chat is for people who are trying to experience new stuff, but if they, for example, have, you know, habits or having problems real life on all of that certain thing, they, you know, they bring up the thing that they want to put up their own drama to other people to start care. Drive, get the fuck out of here.
That's real life coming and knocking.
We will cut that. Yeah. Alright, so what I was basically saying was it comes by habits and other things. So, you know, for example, I don't bring my personal life to you because the thing is, I know you just for a bit, for example. It's just like a pure example, right? You'll have, for example, a problems IRL, right? You're having, for example, this and that, and there are some people who likes to bring it. You know what I mean, right? They likes to explain what they went through, and then they want to make people, you know, understand it. But remember, you cannot understand somebody's pain because you never been through it.
So you're basically saying that they're trauma
You can maybe be
bonding,
in similar thing.
and then they try to like kind of sugarcoat and like, I guess, make people believe a certain thing in order for them to like manipulate and gain
Yeah.
their trust. I guess, like, pluck them away from their ideas and beliefs, and just like, oh, I'm a victim, so like understand me and praise me, even though at the end of the day we really can't understand each other's pains, because obviously we're going to be a little bit different. I mean, for example, you are, I forget where you're from, but I know I'm Italian Asian, and it's not
I'm
like
from
you're gonna,
Poland, yeah.
yeah, you're from Poland, and you're not gonna quite understand, for example, a joke I'm gonna say like, it's Italians fucked up the noodle, and that's the Asian part of me speaking, but it could be also, you know, the Italians saying that the Asians fuck up the noodle, whatever. But it's always going to be a different perspective because we're raised differently, and we've
Yeah,
also gone
exactly.
through experiences in a different way.
For example, in Poland, known word is kurwa. It basically means it's like 50 different things. Trust me, it's 50 different things. And we add our curses into the conversation because we don't mean it negatively. We make the shit funny. We talk funny to each other. We bring our cursed words in a funny way to basically make the conversation a meaning, you know? So, like, for example, I'm telling you that you fucked up the noodles. Like, for example, you have like a fucking Italian Asian joke, right? But I will say it in how to say, like, in a Polish way, that it makes it funnier for you. You get what I mean, right? So, like, you laugh your ass off, not like I'm saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying it in a funny way, and that's, for example, other people doesn't understand. They are taking it as an attack or as something else. Like, that's why people need to understand people's humor and their understanding how they were raised, because that's how you basically get to know the person.
So let me ask you a quick question. I guess you say, you know,
Go
you
on.
said something about how they were raised and everything else. So you would say that it's not so much so about your sexuality, what you are, like, I guess, skin tone, because obviously you could be any kind of color in this game. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm wearing a black Pokemon, I guess. But you can literally say that it doesn't matter, and that it's just a cultural upbringing, that it's your cultural,
Yeah,
I guess, way that you were raised, and how, what kind of environment you were in, that literally brings you up to becoming the person that you are, or the people that you are, and that it's
exactly.
not about race or gender, it's about culture.
Yeah, because this is the thing about groups. Like, if you get to the certain point about groups, it's like you don't need to be somebody who you aren't. For example, you join a group and they, for example, doesn't accept it. That means that group is not for you. That's understandable, because in that group you cannot be yourself. That's the whole meaning, isn't it? That what VRChat wants? VRChat wants that people are themselves,
Hmm.
that they are enjoying their time and having fun with friends.
Whether
That's the
they're
whole
freaky or
point
not.
about VRChat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So basically, they enjoy their time and all of that. So you get the point. For example, I'm Polish, you're Italian, Asian, and guess what? We can talk shit to each other, and we mean it in a funny way.
Yeah,
But if you
because
go
that's
to
our
somebody
cultural
random that,
upbringing.
for
Yeah.
example, is from a different. Exactly. So there's like people who are like, I'm saying to him like, as a friend, like, I meet you in a random world, and I'm just saying like, hey you, fuck you, and then you're like, yeah,
No, fuck you.
you too. You're like this. Exactly.
I hope you
So
step
that's
on
the
a
thing.
Lego, you piece of shit.
Exactly, right? So that's the point. And there are some people who doesn't really understand what's going on because they get to know each other, but you're getting mean to them, and they start to attack you for no fucking damn reason.
Yeah, I think we've
Like,
pretty much
then they're
eliminated what it
accusatory and
means.
all of-
I pretty much eliminated what it means to have like a little bit of a satire moment where you could just freely joke around and make light of negative situations because that's what comedy was based on. And we're kind of like
Yeah.
pulling away from it for some reason because people are so sensitive. Are you good? You got something on your thigh? Do we need to call the cleaner? We could take a commercial break so
something
that
to
way
say
he can,
about
you
it?
know, clean you up nice and good. There's a bathroom down the
I
hall.
zoned out like I don't know how long ago, to be honest. I have no fucking clue. I have nothing
So,
to say about that.
It's
I
because she's
mean,
American. Get her.
You've been in
No.
many groups.
I'm Latino too, you bitch. Don't make me get the chunklet. Where the fuck is it?
Rummaging for the chunkle. You hear that shit in her mic? She's got to go through her purse. Oh, look, a bowling ball. Anyways.
My arm is going nuts. He keeps like slapping him in the face on accidentally. I don't know.
Oh,
what's going on.
that's what was the feeling, right?
I guess what you got phantom sense?
Yeah, I mean, when you just see like just like that, and you're just like, what the
Sir,
fuck is that?
sir, I'm gonna need you to
No,
stop
I
touching
also
my
was just
titties. Your
tapping
wife
the
is
legs,
right
I
there.
guess.
We can have an affair later. Anyways.
Good night.
Good night. She's just checked out. She's just completely checked out. Clunk.
Yeah. So it's basically like, how do you see the groups? Like, for example, you've been in many groups. So what do you see in a perspective of what should a group be about?
Or in other words, like, what's your perspective on people using labels and adopting that to how they communicate with one another versus it just being carefree and whatnot, like we've expressed a second ago?
I mean, to be honest, anybody I personally hang out with doesn't use labels. Like, I think that shit is so stupid. Like, it's like another step to being materialistic, and I just personally don't want a part of it.
So you just say it's like a step
Like,
back.
I don't personally see. Yeah, I don't personally see why we need a ranking system for how social we are in a game. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we're all here to have fun. I mean, I guess some people want to like try to use that as a prestige thing and speed run it, but
Fucking
like
Call of Duty.
I think it's quite useless. Yeah, I think it's quite useless.
It's Call of Duty's
Because,
fault.
Like
It's the goddamn Xbox achievements and PlayStation's trophies. God damn it.
I want the instant gratification of a trophy.
That's another thing they don't express when you don't have your hands on but you're doing other shit in real life.
Yeah, right.
You look like you're flapping like a fish dying.
I love it when Questy. Yeah, that's probably one of the funniest things and why I accept Questies is because when you guys end up doing something in real life, all you just see is just the hands go.
You mean like this? You mean just like that?
And I find it to be the funniest thing because it's just about where the tracking is for your hands. And unpopular opinion, but I know a lot of people
Yeah.
do this stuff for the adult content. And when they do the adult content, it's so funny because they'll put their hands behind their head, and then all you see is their fucking turkey arms going everywhere while you're doing it. I find that to be so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. It's because the head tracking stops like right here, and then it just like look. You can see it fuck up.
Yeah, because like right now here's a camera over there. So like I have one camera there, and camera there. So it's like it just takes like the tracking of the arms. So imagine when I just okay, so I'm just telling you this right now. I'm placing my arms right now. Like look, I'm placing them down here. And look, I'm gonna stand up.
Oh no, here we go.
You see?
At least it's still
Freaking
tracked.
So shit.
See, because
right?
instead of
And
like
sometimes
for
you
me,
just go
I
like
just put my
this.
hands right here, and then it's just like
Yeah.
it's just completely broken.
Yeah, yeah.
I look like a damn transformer half the time.
The hand tracking, right?
Yeah, you
Hand
just need
tracking
to.
on Quest.
Yeah, it is hand tracking on Quest. I can demonstrate. Hold on.
Oh Lord, here we go with.
Clap! I don't believe you.
Yeah, this is my clapping. Just the clacking.
Yeah.
Let
Oh
me just
Lord.
see here.
Watch him disconnect from this. This is gonna be fucking
Movement
funny.
tracking.
His
Hand.
arms are so far into his chest.
Oh my God, he's going for the real,
It doesn't
the
work.
real
I need to
feel.
reset.
Oh, okay.
Alright, don't worry about it.
It's okay. See, out of all of us,
I need
I'm the
to
one who
reset.
could just.
Well,
Here, I got you. Put your hand back up. I got you. I got you. Ah, there you go. I got you.
yeah.
And she's got it because of the fucking emote. Yeah, no, these are some definitely hard times in VR. I mean, especially like as I said, I mentioned earlier, you know, my personal experience is that I actually got attacked for being straight, which is, I mean, to be honest, quite mind-boggling because you know, for most part in most lobbies, no one's really attacking you for that. But atypically, and this is like not to bash on people's freedom of doing what they want to do because you can stick whatever you want to stick inside you. I don't think anybody really has a problem with that. I think it's more so that they're promoting their group to such a level where it feels like it's more of a financial thing. What are you headbutting him?
Yeah.
I'm full blown in a conversation,
I
bitch.
think she wants to give me
Goddamn.
a kiss.
No, jokes aside. No, they use these labels in such a way that it's like damaging conformist a little bit, where they want you to conform. You must abide by my rules and my rules alone. You know, respect me, and I don't have to respect you. What are people to do about that? Like, what's your guys' opinion on that? Because it's becoming a little bit of an issue now.
I mean, my opinion is this: if a person is like that, just go straight with it. Just say it. Fuck off.
So you think we need to bring
don't
back
care,
like bullying
because it's
and
your choice.
shaming, I guess, a little bit to a degree?
No, you don't really need to say actually fuck off. It's more like, why do you care about it? Because it's not your opinion, it's his opinion, right? That's what we've been going through and explaining, right? So why should you respect somebody that basically drops down negativity? I mean, I'm not saying every trusted user is like this. For example, I am a trusted user. I have a lot of friends here, like who basically wants to have a part with me and basically enjoy the time and have fun. But there is some trusted people who doesn't really like that. They rather want to block the person because how he is, right?
Yeah. No, I get it.
That's the part what you just basically need to know. Like there is part of people who basically just want to be fine and having fun, and there is some people who really doesn't care and they really want to be a mean ass to you because of the rank. And like I really agree with my wife about it, because why should we have a rank to be trusted or be known or be unknown user or basically being a visitor. For example, it comes up a visitor guy who's like, for example, 25 years old. He just wants to have friends because, for example, he have a problem being a socialized IRL, and he just want to train up to be social.
Yeah.
And what's happening when he joins a group, for example, who are literally toxic people, and what happens with that person?
I mean, I would
The
assume
person
they would
starts
just.
to be toxic as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, there's that too, especially if they start liking them. But for the atypical person, I would assume they would walk away. But I could generally see that, especially
Yeah,
if you've
me
tried
too.
your footing many enough times, and eventually all you find is toxic people. So I guess you kind of adapt to survive, right? That's the premise that we live by as
Yeah,
humans in
exactly.
general. So
So
yeah.
I'm just prefer to every single VRC user who are new in this. Try to find a good world where is good people who are like really socialized and actually wants to enjoy your time. So I'm just telling you this from 3 worlds that basically is not expected for a visitor to visit. It's basically Black Cat, because that's really surrounded with toxicity because people are there just for basically fucking around, and people who are basically most likely experience what's happening over there. But being a visitor, it basically fucks up for the person because
It's
he
kind of
already
like a
know
death
that,
sentence, you would
and
say.
he joins in, and yeah, basically a trap.
Yeah.
So you fall in and still fall in there. And as well, there is a world. I just need to remember it.
We have
Holy shit.
the pug. We have
Love Desires.
oh,
Love
love.
Desires, for example.
Lord of
Yeah,
mercy, we're
the
talking
pug as
about
well.
love now. Okay.
No. Love Desires is a basically well,
It's
not well for
it's a bump and
kids, so I
ugly
prefer not to go
map
there.
as well, at least from what I
Yeah.
heard.
Exactly. It's a really bad world for visitors because they will not experience to see good people. It's just most likely just people who basically just hit a rock on a paper, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So it just goes by that. Just don't go to those worlds first. Try to experience your new friends in a really calm world, like for example Murder 4. Basically, you just enjoy a game that you basically are basically a detective or a bystander who you basically find clues and trying to kill a murderer who basically kills everybody around.
So try to go for
It's
those
just
game
like,
worlds.
it's a fun game to yeah, because that's how you meet good friends, right?
Mhm.
Because then you actually can try to socialize. That's how I started. I started with Murder 4, then I started Battle Disc, and that's how I met my friends.
Okay.
And then after all, I basically started to go to Black Cat because I already experienced how to talk to people. Because I am a person who has social anxiety, but I fix my social anxiety by taking medicine and as well by
So getting the appropriate
socializing with new people who are really calm.
so getting the appropriate treatments,
Yeah.
actually following through with them and trying to figure yourself as a person rather than, trauma bond with another person who's dysfunctional and then not doing anything to fix it. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to be one of the many different topics that we'll be covering up in the upcoming episodes. And if you guys feel like you want to tune in, like and subscribe, that's up to you guys. Some of these are going to be going on TikTok. The main one's going to obviously go on YouTube, preferably because I don't think TikTok takes more than an hour of a fucking video. But it was nice having you. It was nice for you guys to tune in. And if you guys have any likes or concerns, you guys want to bring up topics of discussion that you want to bring in, we have a Discord. It'll be linked into the videos or the description. We hope to see you in the next episode.